Raise your hand if you are not certain that you will go to heaven. This was an invitation that my old pastor would give every month during service time for us to rededicate ourselves to Christ. He'd tell us to close our eyes so no one could judge and asked us to raise our hands. Sometimes I raised my hand really low. Other times I didn't raise it at all. But regardless of whether or not I raised my hand physically, I would always raise it in my heart. As a believer of Christ, I grew up in a family that was centered on our faith. From a young age, I attended church every Sunday. But as my life continued from middle school to high school, my faith did not really grow with me. I began attending church mostly just when I felt like it, and I rarely picked up the Bible to read it. However, I did pray nearly every night for God to protect my loved ones, for good things, for everyday things. But this humdrum life of faith of mine continued all the way until my college years. Up until this time, no one ever taught me the dire importance of being in the Bible. No pastor, no church leader, not even my parents who hammered in me that I needed to believe in Jesus. Not one single person ever explained to me, according to the Bible, why I should believe. I just believed. It came to a point that I finally realized, isn't this just blind faith? I needed to know for myself with certainty what I believed in and why. As Christians, we talk so much about heaven. I was doubtful of whether or not I was actually worthy to go there, given the current life of faith I had been living. This was a thought that constantly plagued my thoughts, my dreams, and my heart. Finally came a day that I decided, okay, it's time to answer this question. No more games. So I started to search. One fateful afternoon, I unexpectedly came across some young adults who happened to be Christians. They were Shincheonji members. As I was searching for answers, they were able to introduce me step by step to what I was seeking through God's Word. From lesson 1 of our studies, I was amazed by how much more I was able to understand about God, the Bible, and the work Jesus shed his blood for. They were so bright and loving and generous. Most importantly of all, they knew the Word like anyone else I've ever heard. I knew then that God had answered my earnest prayers. From that time on, the Word reeled me in like a net. I continued to learn and study and felt myself changing, growing closer to God, understanding more clearly his purpose, mercy, and kindness to have guided me. For a long time, my spirit and faith had been dry, even lost. But hearing the scriptures explained from the beginning to the end, seeing all the effort of those who guided me put in to help me grow, and how they took care of me like family, I was moved beyond words. My life of faith now as Shincheonji is something I'm proud of. Not because I did anything that makes me worthy, but because I received the gift of God's love and grace. I'm proud to say that I followed the Word to get here, and I continue to follow it in order to achieve my hope. There may have been challenges and obstacles along the way, but I didn't allow my own heart, nor my own ways, nor the skeptical words of others to block me from the truth. Having overcome all these things, I can say that only God and the Word are the standard of my faith. I know the path to heaven. I know the deep things of God. I know where I belong and who I am. That is what I gained by coming to Shincheonji. My heart is overflowing with joy to have met the family of Shincheonji and to continue my life of faith with each new day. And I am eternally thankful to God.